한숨 속에 섞인 감정들이 묘사 마주치 내교차며 갈피를 못 잡듯이 갈피를 못 잡듯이 또 지나가는 길 이 짧고 긴 시간 동안
Hello, welcome back. Let's get cozy, let's get comfy. This is gonna be a little life lately video, gonna give you all the updates. A lot's been going on for the past month and a half, really. But before we get into all of that, if you're new here, my name is Selena. I am an economist. I work for the federal government. I'm a content creator. I share life in my 20s, trying to find balance, trying to figure it out. So if you're into that, and if you haven't already, consider subscribing. Also, if you're as happy as I am about finally being back on YouTube, then make sure to give this video a thumbs up and make sure to leave a comment down below. I missed you all, and I'm excited to slowly get back into the groove of things as much as I can. The past month or so, I've been MIA because a lot's been going on. If you follow me on Instagram, you probably already know a lot of what I've been up to, so make sure to follow me on Instagram if you aren't following me right now. A lot has been going on, so much so that I have my phone to just look at photos and videos that I took to kind of stay on track to update you all in chronological order. So in the beginning of April, it started out pretty happy. I celebrated my anniversary with my boyfriend. We went out to dinner and that was really nice. You know, I've been pretty confused just in general lately about what I want to do with my career, where I want to live, buying a house. All those things are kind of constantly on my mind. And then everything shifted on April 10th. It felt like my world turned upside down because that was the day that I found out about my cousin passing away. And that was really hard to digest and to process, especially being across the country from my entire family. I just felt so alone, more so than ever. And, you know, when my mom called and let me know, my boyfriend was at work, so I was just completely alone, and I had just signed into work, made my cafecito and my oatmeal, and I was having like a great day. And when my mom gave me the news, I was in complete shock, and it was really painful. I'm sure a lot of you can relate if you've lost someone that you love. I know maybe not everyone is really close to their cousins, but being raised in a Mexican-American family, my mom is so close to all of her sisters, and that means that we were constantly hanging out growing up. I grew up with my cousins, and good or bad, we all spent a lot of time together and love each other. And I love my cousins and my family, and I especially loved my cousin Kiara, and so her loss was especially hard for me. It's the first of my cousins that I've lost, so it's been a lot, you guys. I'm still processing. Grief for me comes in waves for sure. That week was already hectic too because I was planning and packing to go away on a trip for that weekend that I had purchased months before. I actually am my friend Pablo's best woman, and so I planned his entire like bachelor weekend in Vegas, and I had already bought my flight and my hotel and everything was that weekend. And so I was in this weird space of like, do I just not do that? But I felt like this responsibility and obligation to my friend because, you know, I had been planning this for months, and not only that, I'm his best woman. Like, I felt like I needed to show up for him because even though I was grieving, I also, you know, my friend was only gonna get married once, you know. I wanted to be there for that. So I decided to still go on the trip. I also do feel like it was a good kind of distraction. Avoid the pain for a few days. It all truly became real when I went to Oregon, but I'll get into that later. So in Vegas, so I started out by giving you all like a little hotel tour. I did get a hotel, you know, by myself. Let me do a quick little hotel tour. This is so nice. I got a king-size bed just for myself, just because comfy. It's a nice size. It's definitely more than I need for one person. This bathroom is so nice. Like, look at this. Just look at this. So nice. I love it. That is the hotel tour. So day one, I had gotten to Vegas in the afternoon. I got ready, unpacked, checked out my hotel. It was really nice. Real quick, I'm about to meet my friend downstairs, but this is my little fit of the day. Looking cute, comfy. This is my brownie from Classy Network. I have gold hoops on, and then These pants are from Princess Polly. Shoes are Nike Air Force. About to head out. And then we went to dinner. I stayed at the Luxor Hotel. We stayed on the Strip because my friend wanted just everything to be within walking distance, which it was. It worked out perfectly. We walked to this really, really good taco place that's like at the end of the Strip, and it was on the way to the show that we were going to that night. The tacos were bomb. Went to Magic Mike. It was hilarious. The thing that I actually liked about the show, I was honestly very nervous about going to the show. I was like, man, I don't know how I feel about this. This is gonna be awkward. There's gonna be a bunch of like ladies there probably celebrating their bachelorette, and I don't know, it's not my vibe, it's not my scene, but it's Vegas, and I'm like, how are you gonna go to Vegas and not go to any shows? So we went to Magic Mike. A couple of my friends who had seen it before also said it was really, really good, and I didn't know what they meant by that, but it was actually pretty enjoyable because I liked like the take they had on it. It was pretty accurate a lot of the time because it wasn't so much about like men stripping. It was the idea that women find chivalry sexy, and they played a twist on it. So these dancers would like come and like ask women to dance, and they would like treat them respectfully and pull out a chair for them, like little things like that. And they talked a lot about consent and how consent is sexy. I don't know, I really appreciated it. It was a really good show. And then day 2 was pretty much like a chill day. Good morning. This is my outfit for today. I think today we're just gonna like chill, go to the pool, and then all the shows or things that we're doing are really gonna be tonight. Early in the day, I actually went and I got my nails done. We went to this Italian spot in the hotel because we just wanted to have a more like chill day to prepare for the nighttime. We even went to Ross, and I ended up getting like a new swimsuit. We just walked around the Strip. One thing that was interesting that I didn't know was that you can drink openly and in public. So we were kind of like enjoying that a little bit. Like we were walking the Strip, and then we stopped to get a drink. I think I got like a margarita mixer type thing. So that was kind of cool. Then we ended up going to like the top of this viewpoint. Then later that night, we went to this really yummy dinner, and then went to another show. This time it was like an EDM show, or I don't even know. I don't really know. It was this DJ. Yeah, I don't even remember his name. I'm not even gonna lie. So it was pretty fun. Again, wasn't my vibe. I just am not the type of person to really want to go to nightclubs often. Also, that music itself is not my vibe. Like I listen to that type of music if I'm running or like working out, but not day to day so much. So I was just kind of like nodding my head, and the songs that I did know because I've heard them, I would scream because it was kind of exciting. I don't know. I've also haven't gone to that many concerts in my life, so it was definitely a fun experience. I think again, I was just trying to make the best of the weekend as much as I could. This was honestly one of my favorite parts. So the next day, quick little outfit of the day. We're heading to a beach club, but first we're gonna go to a buffet. Did some space buns. This top is from Classy Network. I have my swimsuit bottoms on, and then these shorts are from Old Navy, and this little loose top is from Princess Polly. This is a fit. Last day in Vegas, let's go. This for sure, the third day was supposed to be a very chill day because by this point, I was just exhausted. Realistically, just pushing through, trying to make the best of it. And it's not to say I didn't have fun. I loved being with my friend, and his friends were really great. So I don't want it to come off the wrong way. It's just that I was putting off my grief and like feeling my feelings. And so that was hard. Like that was exhausting. But it had nothing to do with the experience itself, because looking back, there were some really great memories. We went to Caesar's Palace to the buffet, and it was so freaking good. That in of itself was kind of a mess. Just so you know, you have to get a reservation. So try to do that before you go. We had to do it right then and there, and the online system wasn't working. Another hack to know is if you do show up and you forget to make a reservation or whatever. The list, when we went onto the reservation, said that we were the 60th person on the wait list, but we saw that nobody was around, so we just stayed there because we figured people are definitely gonna not show up when their name is called if they're not even here. So it ended up working out, and within 20 minutes we were seated, which means that all those people that were on the wait list probably just never came back. I don't know. Point is, even if you're 60th on the wait list, just stay there because they're just gonna pull you in like a lot sooner. The food was amazing. There were so many choices. There was birria tacos. Food is like that's my love language right there. So I was really happy. But it was expensive. It was $70, but worth every penny. I just wish I had a second stomach because I got full after my like second or third plate, and then the dessert was so good. Anyway, so that was definitely my favorite part. Actually, this was just my favorite day because before we continue on with this video, I want to give a huge thank you to the sponsor of today's video, which is Thrive Market. If you don't know who Thrive Market is, Thrive Market is an online membership-based grocery store on a mission to make healthy living affordable and easy for everyone. They guarantee savings on every order. It doesn't get any better than that. As a Thrive Market member, you will get guaranteed savings on every single order of the highest quality, sustainable, organic food. And on top of that, if you find a lower price anywhere else, they will match it. As I've shared in this video, life has been really hectic, a lot has been going on, and not having to think about having to go to the store to find some of my favorite organic foods has been so beyond helpful. To just have it arrive at my front door, ready to go. I'm able to go in every single month and choose what I want to get shipped to my home every single month, and it's honestly just made getting my favorite groceries hassle-free. Another way that Thrive Market guarantees savings is that you will make back what you spend on your annual $60 membership, and if you don't, for whatever reason, which I think is highly unlikely, but if you don't, Thrive Market will simply credit you the difference. Another thing I love about Thrive Market is just the versatility of it. Doesn't matter if you're keto, vegan, gluten-free, you name it, you can shop by over 90 different diets and values. New products are always being added every single month, so if you're interested in trying out Thrive Market, you can join Thrive Market today and get 30% off of your first order and a free gift worth up to $60. Just make sure to use the link down in the description below, and if you have tried them out or you're going to try them out, make sure to leave a comment down below to let me know. And with all that said, let's get back into the video. Then after that, we had again more chill vibes, went back to the hotel, changed into our swimsuits, and I kind of had like a little pool afternoon, and that felt so good. I love just chilling. When I go on any vacation, I just want to chill, maybe have a cocktail or a mocktail and some good food. Those are my vibes, you know, going to a cute coffee shop, even going maybe to like a nightclub just to dance and like with girlfriends. But even then I might last like 1 to 2 hours max, and then I want to go home. And that's my perfect vacation or night, like just chill vibes, all chill vibes, and like maybe a little bit of like the dancing and then back to the chill vibe. So yeah, the pool day was just perfect after the buffet. And then that night, the dinner that I had planned for that night was just perfect. And this, again, you have to get reservations. I got the reservation for this place, I want to say 2 months in advance. Even booking 2 months in advance, the earliest time I was able to get for that reservation was 10:30 p.m. and they close at 11. So we cut it close, but we ended up eating that night at Hell's Kitchen on the Strip, and it was so freaking good. I don't really watch like Hell's Kitchen or anything like that. I don't even know what his name, Gordon Ramsay. I don't watch him. I like knew of him, and I know that like people like him, including my friend Pablo. So that's why I ended up booking that reservation, and I'm glad I did because everyone loved it. They were all excited. One of his friends was like a huge fan too, so it ended up being really, really fun. And that was pretty much it for me. I went back to my hotel. The boys, they went out. I think they went to like a strip club or something. I was not gonna do that, so I went back to my hotel and just slept. So the next day I flew to Oregon. So I ended up changing my flight. Well, I tried to change my flight from going from Las Vegas back to DC, instead changing it to go to Oregon. But I called them, and even though I told them it was, you know, for like a family emergency, they weren't able to change it. I had to purchase a new ticket. So I did that, and it wasn't so expensive because Vegas to Oregon is also a lot closer. So I arrived in Oregon, and that is when all the grief and feelings that I was kind of subduing or holding back just hit me like a truck once again. And seeing my family was so good, but it was also just such a reminder of the loss that we were going through as a family, and it was really, really hard. But on the plus side, I did love just seeing my family and being with them once again. It was so nice to see my cousins, and especially like my little cousins. I always get along best with my younger cousins and like my nieces and nephews. It was bittersweet because I loved hanging out with my family and making these new memories, but it was just so sad because that's exactly Like everything we did together was exactly the type of thing that I would do with my cousin Kiara growing up. And so her loss was just felt the entire time, and it was really hard. Anyway, I don't want to get into that too much. One of the things that we did was go to Dick Road. It's like a family tradition. This was something that I used to do with my cousin Kiara all the time. So it was really special, fun, and I was trying to like scare them. And honestly, it's just kind of like a spooky thing to do anyway, because it's supposedly haunted, but it's really not haunted. It's just a fun story that kind of makes it more interesting to visit. I don't know, we did it a lot growing up, and I would take friends there. And so yeah, it was just tradition. We walked the little railroad tracks, and then after that, we went to Portland to this viewpoint where you can kind of see the city views, and we took pictures and stuff, and that was fun. Also, later that week, or throughout that week that I was in Oregon, I started going on apartment tours throughout the whole Portland metro area and surrounding Portland, like Hillsborough, Beaverton. I checked out some apartments there. So I'm gonna show you guys that. The first day I went on the apartment tours with my cousins, and I brought them along. So that was really special and fun and interesting.
Hello, I'm looking at myself. This is for when you miss us and you're in DC.
It is.
Do you have anything to say?
Somebody farted.
Somebody farted.
But this week that I was home, or the 2 weeks I was home, were really hard because, you know, I was trying to spend time with my family and enjoy that, but at the same time, we were all sad. So it was just very bittersweet. Went on some apartment tours, saw some apartments that I liked, saw some apartments that I didn't like. It's insane to me that a lot of the prices over there are actually very comparable to the prices over here in the DC area. Was not expecting that whatsoever, but it is true. Although I will say you do get more for the same price over there for the most part, as in you get a bigger apartment, or you might even get a 2-bedroom in some places, or like 1-bedroom, 1 den for $2,000, versus here you might get like a 400 to 500 square feet studio for $2,000 a month. So that was really interesting. Also, apartments in Portland don't tend to have pools or rooftop pools, or even sometimes rooftops, which was interesting to find out because I've been very spoiled living in the DC area. Pretty much every apartment complex here has a rooftop pool, or just like a rooftop, like a pool on a rooftop, even if it's not the very top. Anyway, every apartment here has a pool, pretty much. And in Portland, that's not the case. So that's something that I was not used to, but I did want to explore and see what kind of apartments are around, because I've talked about it on my channel. I've definitely thought about moving back to Oregon many times, and I grew up with the dream of like living in downtown Portland and just like to know what it's like, because I grew up in Oregon near Portland, but I didn't grow up in Portland, so I've never had that experience. So going on these tours was pretty fun. It was also just fun to do with my family. I went with my cousins the first day. I went on another tour with my dad, and my friend Nadia, who I love, she's the best. And then another day I went with my mom. A couple of tours I went on with my mom as well. So after the majority of all the apartment tours, hanging out with family, it came to one of the hardest days, being back home. So I stayed home long enough. I didn't buy my return flight until my aunt was able to confirm when we would be able to do like the last ceremony as a family together, which was to bury my cousin's ashes. So after the viewing, about a week later, my aunt was able to get her body cremated, and we were able to lay her to rest as a family. And so that day was really, really hard. That was a Saturday, and after that, I actually had another apartment tour. This probably sounds so like it doesn't make any sense, but that's just how my brain works. Like sometimes for me, being productive just helps me to get through things, and doing something fun. And apartment tours for me is fun. And I also always made sure to do it with someone, like a family member, because then it felt like we were doing something together. So anyway, I went with my mom on an apartment tour after, and this might actually be the apartment that I like the most. There's 2 top apartments that I like the most, and I'll probably film another video where I go into that more, like the apartment tours, what I liked, what I didn't like, what I was looking for, and all of that. But I just wanted to show you all kind of what I did and what I've been up to, and you could see for yourself these apartments. I'm not gonna go into depth in this video about the tours or where I'm gonna live, because I still have no idea, but I did want to give you all a life update. So after the apartment tour with my mom, we went home and we had like a carne asada at my parents' house, and we all just kind of grieved together and, you know, celebrated Kiara's life together, cried together, drank together. We even took shots in her honor together, which was special. We're Mexican, so we love tequila. My family is from Jalisco, which is like tequila central in Mexico. And you know, tequila is just something we're proud of because it comes from Mexico and like we love it. So yeah, we drank shots in her honor and spent the rest of the night together. The next day I woke up and I actually saw my cousin from my other side of the family, and we went for a walk, and that was pretty nice. And we went to this really amazing bakery in Portland, which was so good. We went for a hike in Forest Park after we got our coffee and our baked goods, and it was so amazing. I loved it. It was just a reminder of why I love Oregon. And I always talk about what I love about Oregon, and it's really usually just nature and food and coffee, but those are my three of my favorite things. And so I've contemplated moving back to Oregon for pretty much this whole past year. I've contemplated it for years, but more like seriously this past year, especially when looking at house prices and how it would be more realistic for me in general to buy a house or a car or anything really back home in Oregon, especially being closer to family and all of that. But I guess with everything that happened while I was in Oregon, it hit me more that I want to be closer to my family because I really haven't spent much time with them or made as many memories as I would like in the past like decade, because I went to college and I was off in college and I never saw them. And then after college, I went to DC and I've just been in DC and I'd only see my family once a year during Christmas. I know that I love DC, and oh my gosh, I'm so bad at storytelling, guys, because I keep veering off. So after we went for a hike, I went on my last like apartment tour. Yeah, on my last apartment tour. And again, this was like one of my favorite places that I had been to. It was amazing. And then I just went home and packed because the next day, which was Sunday, that's when I was flying back to DC. So Sunday, woke up, had all my bags packed, took my parents to get a breakfast sandwich and coffee from my favorite place. I invited them out before I left. So that was nice. And it felt really nice to be able to do that. And I just want to say thank you to all of you who watch my videos and like my videos and comment on my videos, because it's truly because of you all that I have that like extra money that I can spend on my family when I see them. Another thing that I've been thinking about, like, man, I have this extra money that I'm saving for a house and everything, and I would love to be able to do that more, like take my family out to eat or just even spend more time with them out. Yeah, because like what's the point of making money and being able to own a house and all that if you're not with family? To me, it's kind of pointless to have money and have things and to be alone. It makes no sense to me. So after coming back home to DC, I just felt more affirmed that it's time for me to move. My lease is ending, so it's just been a time of a lot of hard decision making. I've made a lot of pros and cons lists, and I've just come to the decision that I'm moving to Oregon. So that's like my final big update. I'm moving to Oregon. I'm moving in with my family probably for the summer until I'm able to find the perfect apartment for me. My boyfriend is moving with me as well, and you know, we'll probably continue couples therapy and all of that when we're in Oregon. I have a cousin who's a therapist and she can give us recommendations. So yeah, the plan is to move in with my parents for a few months and then figure it out from there. David has already gotten some job interviews, so he's gonna be okay on that front. I am staying in my job because I like my job. I work for the federal government. I love it, and it's fully remote, so I'm actually, you know, allowed to move and work anywhere that I want, which is the perfect time to move back home. So I've decided to give myself like a trial year to live in Oregon, see if I like it, and then from there I'll decide if I'll stay in Oregon or if, you know, let's say I absolutely hate it. I don't think that I'll hate it, but maybe I just won't like it enough to stay. I can always move back here because I know I love living in DC. I have friends here. I have, you know, a lot of career opportunities here, but I just want to test it out. That's the big update. I've shared it on my Instagram again. A lot of you probably knew. A lot of you have asked me if I'm getting rid of everything. I'm pretty much getting rid of all of my furniture. I've put posts on my Facebook Marketplace, but I've also shared on my Instagram. So I have like a highlight on my Instagram that says for sale. So you can go on there to see what I'm selling and what is, you know, pending and what I've already sold and all of that. I still have more things that I need to list. So, you know, keep your eyes open. Follow me on Instagram if you're interested in any of the things that I'm selling. I already have my couch pending, my rug pending, TV, console, table, coffee table pending, but there's still so much more. I need to sell my West Elm dining table. That's like a drop leaf. My entryway table and mirror. Like, there's a lot of things I still need to take photos of. Moving content to come, cross-country moving content, which means that I'm not just gonna film like moving day. No, I'm gonna start filming moving content like this weekend, which it's currently May 12th, and my move out date is like mid-June. I'm not gonna say the exact date, but mid-June, somewhere there. So I have a whole month before I need to have sold most of my things or donated most of my things. I'm trying to start early, like decluttering all of those things, because I don't want to be last minute just throwing things away and being wasteful. I probably will still do that for quite a few things, like for example, food that is open and we can't do anything about it, or just things that I wasn't able to sell, but I wanna be as proactive as possible. I have a whole Excel spreadsheet, y'all. Are we surprised? I'm like spreadsheets queen over here. Self-proclaimed. So yeah, I'm like organizing everything on there just because it's so hard to remember who is buying what, because people have already said that they want to buy certain things. It's a mess. Just know that I'm overwhelmed. But I wanted to come on here and just update you all on where I've been, what I'm doing, like what is the next step. And the next step is moving to Oregon, you know, with my boyfriend. He's coming with me. And it's gonna be a whole new journey. I'm really sad to leave. I don't know how you all feel about it too, because I know that I like, you know, share my life living here in the DC area. And now I'm gonna be in Oregon and then in the Portland area. And I feel like everything that I've seen online is, a lot of it is so negative about Portland. So I guess I wanna go see for myself if it's really that bad, or if I actually just love nature and being around my family enough to stay there. So we'll see. If you're excited for this journey, let me know down below in the comment section. If you live in Portland or near Portland, let me know. Okay, we can be friends. I know a lot of you probably live in the DMV area like I do, but if you don't, let me know. If you have any recommendations for like places to eat or things to do in Oregon or Portland, comment down below. I already have a list going and I'm excited, but I think because I'm pretty scared and nervous about moving back home, having a list of things to do and look forward to is kind of getting me more excited. And lastly, this isn't even my news to share, but I just really want to share it because I'm so proud. David actually already got one job offer and potentially a second job offer is coming. So I'm so happy for him, so proud. And to me, this was like an affirmation that we're meant to move to Oregon, especially because the job offer he got is like really great. God is good. We were praying about this for God to open doors if they're meant to be opened, and he did. So I'm really grateful for that. So again, it's a really bittersweet time in my life. I'm overwhelmed and I'm really busy with moving and trying to figure that out. Thank you all so much for watching. I love you all so much. And if you have any questions for me, make sure to comment down below. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss all the moving content to come, cross-country moving content. But with all that said, I hope to see you all in the next video.